Welcome to the first ever long form collection talk. Today is going to be a recent games pickup because my wife and I recently took a trip to Japan and I did some game hunting. Not a whole lot, but I have a stack of stuff just down here and we're gonna go over everything that I got. So first things first is something that I have right here. It's something that I've wanted for a long time, longer than I can even remember in terms of the length that I've been collecting. But I never got around to picking up for one reason or another, and that is the Sega Saturn. This is a Model 2, I believe. It's a Japanese Sega Saturn. It's the white one, if you couldn't tell. It's kind of yellow and gray now. But if you open it up, you can see that, it's kind of white in there, right? It did have the video card in the back. And not only do I have the console, but the console came with the box. So here's the box. As you can see, it's HST0014. I believe that denotes that it's a Model 2. I think it's like a 3220 model number. And as you can see, I only paid like just over $60 for this, which is ridiculous to me, considering my local game store is trying to sell one right now for like $180. Next, to go with all the Saturn stuff, I got the RAM cartridge. I believe this is the game RAM cartridge, if I'm not mistaken. And then this one is, I believe, the system RAM cartridge. So I got both of those. And then two controllers along with it, but only the gray ones. They didn't have the white controller to go with the console. It came with one of these gray ones, and then I bought another one at a Super Potato in like Ikebukuro, I think, just so I can play multiplayer. And so now for all the games that I bought for this thing, I guess first, to get something out of the way, I just randomly picked up a Dreamcast Sonic Adventure. As you can see, it was like, what, just over $4, so why not, But then getting on with the Saturn stuff, we have Enemy Zero. This is a survival horror game made by the same people that made D and D2 on the Dreamcast. I, for some reason, have a PC copy of D, boxed. I don't know why. But this was like $4, so why not? Dead Heat. Dead Heat is a racing game, very arcadey racing game. And as you can see, the whole gimmick was, you can see there's, a bunch of girls here, and I think they were models or whatnot in the 90s when this came out, and they talk to you every time you start a race, every time you lose, and every time you win. Next up, we have a game that I have tried to play multiple times, and every time I play it, I love it, but I never actually finish it, and that is Grandia. Grandia, I have tried playing on the PS1 many times, and then even on the Switch when it got re-released. But here's the original Saturn print, so that's always cool. That was cool to find. And then we have two games in a series, and this is a series that I have always wanted to get into and haven't yet, so maybe this will prompt me into actually playing them. That is Sakura Wars. Here is the first one, Sakura Taisen 1. And Sakura Taisen 2. And as you can see, this, I think the other one was around the same. It's like just over $10. So game hunting in Japan is super cheap for the most part. Most games are pretty affordable. Next up, we have Devil Summoner. Devil Summoner on the Sega Saturn. This is another game that I have tried playing, and I love it because I love SMT games, but have never actually, you know, gotten deep into it and finished it. And then next, we have Soul Hackers. So go from Devil Summoner to Devil Summoner Soul Hackers. Look at this. What? $7. $7.48. This game on 3DS is like getting close to 100 now. Maybe it's even over 100 now. I haven't checked in a long time. And then lastly, to go along with the SMT stuff, is the Demon Compendium, and this was like what, $9 or something like that. And this is just a collection of all the devil models within the game. Okay, next up. Next we have some DS, 3DS, and one Switch game. So these 3 DS and 3DS games are all within the same series. First up, Ace Attorney Investigations. Never got released in NA here, so picked up a copy of that because obviously I've played the fan translation, but always wanted to own it. Next up is Dai Gyakuten Saiban. This is the one set in like the Edo period or whatever. I played through most of this one on the 3DS, and then again on the Switch. I never actually finished it, and I haven't played the second one yet. I need to do it. And here's another one that I haven't played. I played Dual Destinies when it came out, and then I bought this, but didn't play it. And that is Ace Attorney 6, Gyakuten Saiban 6. And this was released here, but not physically. And so I did buy the digital copy, but finding a physical copy is so cool. And again, look, it's like $9. So why not? And keeping on the theme of $9, I think that's what I paid for this as well. Shining Pearl. I never bought this when it came out. I love Diamond and Pearl, but the art style and everything about this game just never really hit home with me. And so now I can pop it in and actually give it a fair shake with all of the patches and everything else. So I'm looking forward to actually trying it out. Next up is a Wii game. I found this Wii game at a book off in, I think it was in Shibuya. I can't remember. And that is Dragon Quest Anniversary Collection. It's the 25th anniversary collection. This has the Famicom 1, 2, and 3 versions, as well as the Super Famicom 1 and 2 and 3. I remember when this got released, I was watching it and was super super beat up that it never actually came out here in NA. Because I love Dragon Quest and I love those 3 games. And finding this, I think it was like just under $30 or something, which is quite a good deal considering the prices I saw on eBay. So next up, we have kind of a special thing for me, and that is I have the game here, and I also have a controller that you might see behind me. I think you can see it behind me, and that is Densha de Go. This was the Simple Series release on the PlayStation 1, and with that game I got this. It's plugged into the PS2 right now, so I'm not gonna unplug it and whatnot, but it's the Densha de Go original PS1 controller. It's got the brake handle, the acceleration shifter, two-handle controller. It works great. It was in really good shape, and I was super happy to find this. I was always super into the Denshide Go games, aesthetically and everything like that, and I'd never really played them very much aside from trying it out in the arcades. And to get this, it was really cool. I've played a few different ones now, and it's great. It's always great. And we have one more controller to look at, a Poppin' Music PS1 controller. I didn't get any of the games, but you know, there's ways around that. I've tried out a few. It works great. It's a little small compared to like an arcade controller, so it's not as, you know, authentic as I would like, but still super, super fun. Okay, and I do have one more game that I bought in Japan. And it's a Switch game, actually. And I was super surprised when I bought it. I found it in just a department store. I think it was a Yodobashi Camera. I went in and I found Eiyuden Chronicles Rising. And it was like $30. And I was like, holy crap, okay. They didn't release it here physically. So I went up to the register, put it down, and he came back with the soundtrack, which is cool, and then a free gift. I got a little clear file as well. That was so cool. I'm looking forward to actually playing this now. So that's it for the games and everything else that I picked up in Japan. We've been back for a few days, and over the weekend I was sitting there and I'm like, man, I kind of have the itch to game hunt since I had been doing it in Japan. So I went to our local, I guess you could call it a pawn shop or a consignment shop, where they have a lot of games. People bring in a lot of games, and I found a game. I probably wouldn't have bought this prior to our trip, but I had that itch. I had an itch and I wanted to buy something. So I scoured the PS2 games because my PS2 collection is quite large in terms of games I want to play, or want to have rather. And I found this, and it was a little pricier than I would have wanted, but still lower than what they're going for on eBay. That is Jade Cocoon 2. I never actually played any of the Jade Cocoon games, but you know, I always hear good things, and I've watched videos about them before. And this one I think I paid like $60 for, and they're going for around 80 to 100 on eBay right now. So that was a nice find, and helped to scratch that itch that I had for buying a game. All right, and that's everything that I bought in Japan. It was great. The trip was great. We were there more for sightseeing and travel purposes, so I didn't do a lot of game hunting. This was sort of like the last few days before we left. We were in Tokyo, and I decided we needed to, I needed to go out and see what I could find in the time that I had, and this is what I got. Super happy that I found the Saturn for that price. That was amazing. And then the Denshide Go stuff was just, that was something that I had sort of told myself I wanted before we left. I said I wanted to find a Denshide Go controller. I was actually looking for a Switch one, but I couldn't find any used Switch ones, the Zuiki controllers. So might just have to bite the bullet and buy one of those on eBay or on PlayAsia or something. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy these videos, let me know, and I'll definitely make more of them. I don't buy games as often as I used to, but every couple months or every month I can compile everything that I have bought and do something like this if that's something you guys are interested in. So thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.